if I don't know inadmissible, obet me aje. Na so give you na so hwe mu a all your judgment no, right? And nobody decided.
But seriously, Jack Dorian, I'm shocked that
This is a detailed judgment. This is a detailed judgment. Any proper lawyer be I say catch yourself assassin will appeal. You will never do it.
Right. Ejuma na mama ne ye na ese nke bona baso ko ma na
appeal no mo kono. Why adwuma ni na wi o.
Na ehu kakra o say mama Akosua Serwah ai court no mkola insem sisi pa bebre pie. Insem sisi na do so pa che say ehu say ne rep okogine man no. Che say na make an previous video say Justice Dorinda Smith after she's a woman of peace or passion. Or can send call them brand French pa camp away pa ko be mu omu nyina la me na make acho. Say omo koyen omo nkasa witness statement ni nsem onko gina doc mu ko kan no kwa bi kwampo na entale.
I've been saying it from day one.
And I would never say
so,
I've been saying
it. I'm not rate no. Rate na omo de call court no. Rate na omo de call on the 3rd of October no. That time I mean saw rate ni mu na me catch omo say e fake. Maka since that time. Ebe fi menne.
Ye frika asade ni ye fake ene.
Kan no kwa bi kwampo na entale. I'm telling you. And you na make like I'm quoting somebody. We did here for Sevi Ghana TV now. And judgment, so it's in the public domain. To be a kind of being with your coy. Say, why, what can say? Mosi Lumba. Now, Akosua Serwah or your penny. Echo Bob, beside the my Lumba. Was it abandoned to Kwanijim? Charlie, hey, go for to some going for any power from how. Into Kwanijim gigi. Mamma Akosua Serwah Bob beside my Lumba mortgage na den go to omo ko do court ma me Georgina mu nyina say power of attorney ya de ma je say odipa kona na ogina on ombo bisia na amount omo kwaji ya ayetwema menhwe me dey here for Sevi Ghana TV na hwe any day one patch ya de ma me subscribe na watch we me bonnet we 2 minutes campaign do subscribe here notification bell be ba click so mami let's go this channel together TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X baby media grow. Bibia me obi in subscribe man what you can follow me on all these social media platforms TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X. Now some guys say you can say mamena bre because no dindio free Germany ba receipt aye yen find on to nchen yes mam ne kobo mam Akosua Serwah or your penny e kobo besia e di malumba. If you are multi mortgage, if you mamena na etu ache say insem nwonran ni nyame ye pie godo broni so ye pie gulumba so ye pie godo broni so say I say lumba ye wa committee boni bi e bi nsi da oh Charlie ya te ne meja yo mame no kodu court e bisa say okay no problem okobo obisia bank ben na okobo obisia no onim sika se na okoje ye minim infie ben afi ben na okoje bisia no minim. Inti when you na ekokosa na be say so why like why would they do that say yen na yen go do broni ni masepoto ana say den mo am say wakoji loan de ama lumba na audio bi kwampo leak ye kwampo na Akosua pempo maami na o ka say lumba koji iska bi oji 20,000 euros no bet na Ghana na odwin say oba be bi she say in some kind I don't want to repeat because it's not good for a legend like lumba wa yama power for attorney akwa gina court na me gina yamo wa kwa na gina obi witness statement what we if you gina court o mo it was a different thing until when na kinke nyam na make how I'm just repeating I'm just explaining one or two things so that you get clearer picture of the video na amebo no what you say kinke na can say it is ansem we na akoso still you are not satisfied. To me, for no way, Jojo, Mammy Akosua Serwah, no, pulling the strings for their personal and selfish gains. So why would she allow herself to be dragged like that? Wow, witness, wow, power of attorney, or the man who could, or running some more campaigns. Basing on boy, yeah, boy. If you are boy, just say, be higher secretary, mammy, bro, I secretary. When you have been at that, not sure video, be mammy. Now who the echo. Nothing some no echo. A while be say, hey, say na dey na kwa good. Me dey neighbor ko pay for 7 Ghana TV na here, but social media platforms ni na so. Me obi 7 Ghana TV dina na 7 Ghana TV dina na me so. Me patrol. Subscribe na me wati. Share this video, tell a friend, tell a friend. Let's go this channel together. Now, court in some media, some know can say, Mammy Akosua Serwah issue mother, issue to pack, issue say Alex. Just say, or because of certificate back up. They be a mechan, say me singlet, me ina. To be challenging me, and all there me say, Mrs. By force, I'm singlet, the may answer me shirt. Me la kosi. Me la kosi, asem she be was here, me she be was here, so I'll be. But in this case, my Akosua Serwah feels or maybe in my city or the Omoko court say, okay, Omoko Yano, but Ghana, he who alleges must prove meeting baby wasn't me a comfort, okay, prove it. Inti, Bidumbesia, how they are butana, any other general video, mammy. It has to be brave. My Akosua, all of us, we love you, but slow down. Why? Oh, Papa.
Or say, I did not. No, say, one year to more, obet me aje. If I don't know in admissible, obet me aje. That's what give you, that's all show more, all your judgment, you know, right? And nobody decided.
But seriously, Jack Doridan, I'm shocked that
This is a detailed judgment. Oh. This is a detailed judgment. Any proper lawyer be as a catch yourself assassin will appeal. You will never do it.
Right. Ejuma na mame ne ye na esen ke bona baso pe ma na
appeal no mo kono. Why ejuma ni na wi o. Ejuma ni nti judges na obetina appeal no so no. It will be easy for them. Why ejuma ni na.
Wow.
Omachi right.
Hey, but like seriously, the woman is serious. This one, hey, I'm shocked though. She or say if it must be stated that the court is duty bound to consider and evaluate any documents if it's indeed is inadmissible and to reject same if the court
finds it as such. Also one year to Mudia, Aden Oji Sumu, Aden Oji, so say or reject here. Also, obet me, I don't know on Fanya Juma, but obet me aji. Oji here, court be money to me, say, Ojia. Na say or share bibia wie na for ohu o making a decision during the time watching the judgment na obetro o say opa reject opa accept the law or quote law no e wo soro ha a year and a couple versus a year Idrisu 2010 Supreme Court ruling and what say
like it's more like the woman knew the questions that will come out of all these things and she actually answered most of them.
So onim say adena okra o mom de ba onim say fake. What can 90 no na me can say mjiro.
Yeah, Peggy said they said if you Rahel is saying the certificate is fake, they will be happy, pa. And that word they will never hear from my mouth. Is a word
I am saying it.
I've never been saying it from day one, and I will never say it. So I've
been saying it. I'm not rate no. Rate na. Omode call court no. Rate na omode call on the 3rd of October no. That time I mean saw rate ni mu na me catch you say fake. Maka since that time. Ebe pimene.
Ye frika asa de ye fake ene.
Omoto hono ma me ohana eduma be kire me DM provide your address if you think that you are a bold man. Na me catch you say munye serious. Munye serious. Mu pa me address mu ma me no or me address. Munko no hono mo de be mamo. Because city na owo so no. Bonham hono no. Be ono say okoye aware no. Me di hono makone aba. Me details nyina ewo ho. Munka nche mu ma me say onko hono okọ Bonham hono ma okọ Sanders amto a on can show mo say obite social media say oba honom or the details in aba ho o mo de be ma no
tira ye show no amanfo so transmit live on is show nya some ketwa BBC ni atansia fu nyina ehwe.
Yes, I think a lot of people are streaming the live.
That's okay.
Let me say, me now be almost person me cast and be now almost implicating me, but me right from day one when this issue started, I know how to choose my words
Right, oh yeah,
carefully.
Rabba.
Alright,
Oh
you
yeah,
better come
Rabba.
on.
Oh,
You
the
better come
Jamaye.
on. Don't worry. You better come on.
Jamaye, Beckham. Why?
Nti right kan paragraph 90 de ma me na me nkyerɛ mu nkyerɛ mu.
All right,
I feel
93.
Kinky, I feel do me favorite. 1991. I feel do me favorite, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, more there's a judgment. Today I hear what 3,642 people watching on FY.
Muti
Wow.
FYP
Right,
mumbra na
judgment, no, my
mumbetie
kind
ni
of
so.
3 times, so.
Yeah.
Why are they?
Yeah,
Why
94.
are they
Paragraph
crying? Why
94.
are they?
94 na my favorite pa.
I feel do me junction,
Nti right
1991.
Me but the Oka say
90.
I need to be arrested. No, don't worry. Okay, I did go on big so I'm to be arrested. Me no, they will
Yeah,
know.
right. We won't find that drone, don't worry. And you won't find that drone.
All right. 90, right?
Yeah. Paragraph 90.
Okay. So upon a look at Exhibit B and B1, being the purported marriage certificate and its translated copy, and also the purported original that was brought before the court by counsel, the plaintiff counsel for the plaintiff for the court to compare. After the plaintiff had closed her case, the court agrees with counsel for the defendants that the purported marriage certificate as submitted have no probative value.
Tutuo.
Nti
Hold
the
on.
underline word
Let me find
the
the meaning of idea not
purported.
having a probative value.
Uya na wasan fa no the purported.
Purported.
Then the line word is what purported. And nti purported one na copy na omode baaye no. Right. And I was say almost answer the another purported one by almost say a original. Sa eno na oba omode baaye say a original. Omode baaye amra na omo ankasa omo close omo case. Ono plaintiff no wa closing the case awie. Nti unu madekro. Ade omo say a original unu madekro. And na family book no.
Family book no say original no.
Nti eno na no say original. Nti the purported one na a copy no. And almost another purported one by almost say original. Sa purported one omo de buy no. Almost say original. No, ma close omo case awie. Na judge bia o pese o kire mo say na ni trim ya sem papa. Ade na mo ye ni nyina no onim ye mo ye. Nso ma close mo case awie kra o so be gya hwe. E na o gye hwe ye. Sa nipa we ye mfa no ni judgment enko appeal. Bia onim nyansa bia o nyesa.
Okay, so it says that saying something lack probative value means the evidence does not help prove or disprove a fact in a legal case. It has no useful weight or connection to the point you need to show in court.
You see?
In other words, useless.
Useless. It has no use.
Useless.
Off topic, the fact does not relate, or say why evidence lack value. It be off topic. The fact does not relate to the case. Unclear. The link between the proof and the event is too weak, old or weak. The information is too vague and updated to help.
Useless. Right.
Useless. The opposite all kind of no.
Right. Go to 92.
All right.
92.
Let's go to 92. All right. 92 says that I must state that there is a distinction between the legal burden of proof and evidence burden of proof. When it comes to the legal burden of proof, anyone who makes an assertion bore that burden to prove those assertions. But when it comes to the evidence burden of proof, it's a tactical onus. Here,
I say here until so prepare it. Now do be court. Send your wife to see our so dear busapen eco court. They will have to prove in some abusapenya can wo say sa semna abusapenya can no. E dia gu hu fi no. Ube prove a kire court no kwan ya fa so a egu hu fi. You prove it to the court. Sama abusopanya ka every previous judgment in mua. You have to prove say sasem no na egu ohwanimase. You prove it. And who prepare rates now the court na we need mo. So those celebrating omani age a omode ton fufuo no. Fufuo no de omon fan ton because omon crofo no de omunya bibi say dia na omakoma abasoro omutimi tua mo obi kura tua wi a na osan akɔhwɛ na accounts mu say eh adana my accounts are empty. Now the court fufuo no wanhu. Omutua wi ansa na omadwan ba omo so. The reason after they've paid money. Such people, they are depressed, they are dangerous.
I must state that there is a distinction between the legal burden of proof and evidence burden of proof. When it comes to legal burden of proof, anyone who makes an assertion bore the burden to prove those assertions. But when it comes to the evidential burden of proof, it is tactical onus. Here, a party is to produce evidence in support of an assertion to contradict or weaken the evidence that he has been led by the opponent. Oh, okay.
Anyway, video ni idea omokasa busepanya kanina. They will bring the full one. Na ya hwe omukan bob full one wi a mbetie ne papa shi kan ye. Ansa na ne busepanya because ne papa shi kan ye. And na ma busepanya so kan de kan ye. So they will compare it and they will know. Move to 93 and then 94.
All right, 93 says that, let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted. Let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted to certify the German marriage certificate, and by that she could have tendered in evidence such attempt being a letter written to the Ghana embassy
or say
hold on, I can hold on. Because I'm
only attempt keke. Nkomunya attempt keke. Na sisi ya odi abusuapan kokoti o tie ne o kire wo mu na say omode certified authenticated version of a marriage certificate bi ebeka ho so o so kan no enu ti na ma o kan we no enu ti o kan we no o say nka previous court no nka o mo make attempt keke Oma meki afe na omo beka kire yen se afe na omo beka kire yen se sa time no a omo call ye no a court omo ntimia authenticate ama omo no afe na aba beduru when the cancer say moya lawyer kusi.
But hold on. Also, let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted. It means that during the trial, they didn't attempt to
They didn't make any attempt.
Now when the omo kind of paragraph 88 also the plaintiff lawyer was advised during the interlocutory injunction now raise concerns.
Judge didn't advise no so uncle no uncle ye.
But 1 month
after 1 month one moment me and
let me read again. So let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted to certify the German marriage certificate, and by that she could have tendered in evidence such attempt being a letter written to the Ghana embassy requesting for the certification. Now the way na papa she kwaje
ye papa she kwaje ye no
she we say na be ask
no kwaje free embassy hodom no sa confirmation no me say enne my sister Honey Blossom why a very good job on my brother Ankwanoma me adwuma mu na obi de a screenshot or more record free in life no or more life no they've been able to get a copy of a similar letter like that from the Ghana from the German embassy in Accra. A similar letter like that obi dia okoya omo de man no they compared it with Papa Shi ekura no Rahel unse medical kan dada sa letter no me kan ya ka ho asem kra o Honey Blossom ne platform no so ama maka se eye fake letter sa letter na my sister Honey ne platform no wa confirm with what a similar letter from somebody o de toto ho sa to whom it may concern no medical kan say let it be no one makwaje e embassy wa be to whom it may concern original one na ekura o mo na mo de compare we no It was not addressed to whom it may concern. That person's name was there. They addressed the person's name. The reference number was missing.
I see.
Papa Shidi, the reference number was missing. And even under it, there was a footnote. Papa Shi's one was missing. Medican Canada say a fake. So you see, now confirmation. You see it? Until Papa Shi kwaji ye no.
Is it that you people mono you're blocking man and mo pay now? What is it? Me, I won't
block your move.
No. At this point,
You suffocate you.
the person will mean that German no answer for
Rate way no
relegation straight away.
Or the abusia kwanya kokoti was stated we must or the original marriage certificate. Me catch say oboa kan 94. Ube hu say me so oboa.
But we know okay, I have said no can way yo. One is don't block anybody no. Because Adebia Yekebiano, they are not willing to take what we are talking about. Yes, so
but we are injecting pains in their heart into my ninja pain.
We are
not saying it out of our head. It's a court document, and this is the same court document. So that is what we are deliberating on. What we are doing is just going through the judgment and then deliberating on things that are inner. Is supposedly links to what Obusapenny said. Why are you writing all these things?
I'll have to inject sense into your brain. And Monarch, me say, and let me honor Akwabi or say a friend that Kosi Buachi also. Waba me DM or me picture here to what say or hear my dress. No, waba me DM. Now me say this person or person who swing yansa. And I make yansa the channel. Sa Kosi Hwan no. Such a person no. Me sure say brain I done it no. Ultimate process it. He can't even process it.
Don't mind him, Kiki, and for yourself. So, all right. On say after the first way hono or twice so was it beside the lack of certification. So this part is very important.
Okay, read it.
And to the first one, let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted to certify the marriage certificate, and by that she could have tendered in evidence such attempt being a letter written to the Ghana Embassy requesting for the certification. And then 94 says,
Unim says attempt no. Court no ekaye no. Judgment no eba wiye na pe no. Sa attempted letter no eba out. Judgment no eba wiye no. Ena lawyer kusi esan ko twere attempted letter no. Ena o backdate no. I have all those letters. I have them. Minister Alex, we have all of those letters.
All right.
This is how criminal these guys are.
Or by the things that time not trying
or make it attempt.
Okay, so let's so with the court's judgment.
Yeah, from the court. From the court
judgment. Said they made an attempt.
They
didn't. To do that. And in 94, they said beside the lack of certification or authentication, counsel was to bring the original marriage certificate for the court to
94
I'll say besides the lack of certification or authentication, counsel was to bring the original certificate for the court to cite and compare, since the court was informed that there was an original certificate.
Thank you.
However, what was brought to the court was an extract from a family book or a diary, which counsel for the plaintiff admitted in open court.
There is God.
The document, therefore, could not be the original, and its copies and its copy being exhibit B. Therefore, the extract cannot be proof of a civil marriage between the plaintiff and the late Daddy Lumba.
Help us.
Right, who say, right, me catch you say,
There is God.
that you can say, on that Lumba, I was civil marriage, you know, me catch you say, you know, and then all
It is a fake in when I can say.
cannot be proof. This cannot be proof of a civil marriage between Akosua Serwah and Daddy Lumba.
Therefore,
So
the
there was no
extract
proof.
cannot be proof of the civil marriage between the plaintiff and the late Daddy Lumba. The extract is significantly different from the document purportedly tendered in evidence as the marriage certificate.
Good.
Yes. Fake no, I don't say. Fake no.
Ti fake in no one can.
So,
Me be wura fake in super mobile hu. Sa paragraph 105 no. That is what the fake is. You me be ko ufri 104 obeko 105.
okay, to make 95 nana minko menu.
Can 98. Would the jump
Alright.
98 no kra. Would the jump 98 na kan 103. I want a paper now okoje and fake one now okoje no. Na ubisa ho asem no. 103.
103. Also, Exhibit C, emanating from a foreign embassy, has to undergo authentication and certification, or the person who
That's people say onya abre any adaje dey share me video man. Me purchase wa hwe wi a subscribe mami on all YouTube, on all social media platforms, especially YouTube here we here. Subscribe mami. Who subscribing so press notification button so. Say the next video na be ban wo benye bi and wa hwe. 7 Ghana TV no krenkwa. Me am dey nkomo dey brewe. Be din dey Favoured. 7 Ghana TV. Be that's bebre say wo hwe. Bye bye.